string around each piece of egg. Lower an egg on a string into each test tube until it's immersed in liquid. Be sure to leave the remaining length of thread on the outside of the tube. Finally, put the test tubes into the beaker of water and place it on the hot plate. Heat the water to a setting about 37 degrees Celsius.
That's 98 degrees Fahrenheit, the approximate temperature of your stomach. A little warmer won't hurt, as long as they're all at the same temperature. Now, we'll heat the test tubes on the hot plate for about 1 hour. Then, turn off the hot plate and we'll leave the test tubes overnight. What do you think you'll find the next day? Take a moment to record your predictions. You're back. Great. Pull the egg whites out of the tubes and see if they've changed at all while you were away.
Test tube number 1 is filled with pepsin enzyme. It hasn't had any noticeable effect at all on its egg. Test tube number 2 contains just the acid. No change here either. But in test tube number 3, the gastric juices have definitely done some digesting.
Whoa! So much of the egg in test tube number 3 is dissolved. It won't even stay on the string. What about our control, test tube number 4? Nope. No change. What's the conclusion?
Both hydrochloric acid and pepsin are needed to break down the proteins like the ones found in milk white. Neither can do the job alone.
After its acidic enzyme bath, the food in the stomach is mushy, but it's hardly swollen up to pass through cell membranes.
As it leaves the stomach, your food is still being prepared for its ultimate delivery to the cells. Next stop, the small intestine. When stretched out and uncoiled, it towers above a full-grown man. In fact, make out 3 grown men, and yet they have the nerve, the audacity to call this magnificent organ the small intestine. Often see that it is a narrow tube, only about as wide as 2 fingers, but inside that narrow tube are thousands of finger-like projections known as villi, giving the small intestine a surface area the size of a tennis court. Now, does that seem small to you? I've missed my case.
Well, I'm convinced.
Small in name, but great indeed. This is the place where most of the nutrients get absorbed into your body. As the food enters the first part of the small intestine, the duodenum, new juices mix in to continue the digestive process.
The liver makes a yellowish-green liquid called bile, which it stores in the gallbladder. When food enters the duodenum, it triggers the gallbladder to release bile into the small intestine. Like detergent breaking up grease on a pan, bile turns large fat droplets into many smaller ones.
Enzymes from the pancreas and small intestine then make short work of breaking down the remaining food particles. Now that the juices are really flowing, the food becomes extremely watery. In the jejunum, the next part of the small intestine, the microscopic finger-like projections known as villi are waiting. Using tiny blood vessels, they soak up nutrients, which are then passed through the bloodstream to the liver.
When it comes to nutrients, the liver is like a traffic cop. It directs any poisonous substances called toxins one way and sends nutrients another.
The nutrients are absorbed into the bloodstream, where they are delivered to each and every cell of the body.
The food has been transformed into fuel.
We finished our appetizers at last. It was time for a little cleanup and throw out the scraps we didn't need.
Depending on what you eat, it can take food anywhere from 3 to 10 hours to make it through the small intestine. From the duodenum, through the jejunum, and then into the next part of the small intestine, the ileum. Whatever hasn't been soaked up by the villi continues through the ileum and gets a one-way ticket to the large intestine.